Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back. It's Tea and Tarot Time with Julie. This is a message for the collective, for everybody. I want to look at the abundance that we can now all start stepping into. And I want to look at any blocks that you've got remaining that we can clear, that we can align you with the abundance that is accessible now on the back of the new moon in Aries, which we've had. So we're in this energy of what are you manifesting? What's in the way? Let's sort it out. Let's clear it. So let's bring the camera down. I'm going to use the Tarot of Dreams just to get some themes. So first of all, I want to know the overall theme. Okay. So the overall themes in terms of abundance, and this is for the coming year. You need to remember, we don't need to do anything, but I want you to remember that April is the first month of the astrological year. So what are you manifesting and creating that will unfold during this year? Okay. And then we're going to look at the blocks that's in the way, and then we're going to look at how to clear them until we get you in that space. All right. So we've got the Four of Wands. We've got the King of Coins, the 10 of Wands. All right. I like this. Okay. I will explain more in a little moment. We've got the Palace of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. Oh, this is so good. All right, let me come up here and talk to you because I like to talk to you a little bit clearer. Okay, so, right, let's look at these two. This is what you can be manifesting over the next year. Right now, we're not going to wait a year. We're going to start manifesting now. And some of those things that you were putting, uh, okay, so I'm just seeing a lot of different images. Give me a second. All right, I'm seeing a load of marbles, right? You know, those little round hard things. A load of marbles, all different colors, like rolling across the floor. And then, as if by magic, some of these marbles are grouping together like they're magnetized to each other, and then the odd one or two are just rolling away and out of view, no longer relevant. And then I'm seeing some stacking up on top of each other as if they're kind of climbing up. I know it's a very strange visualization, but these marbles represent the different put the elements in place, the different elements in place. Okay, so whatever it is, let's first of all, let's start with what you want to manifest. It could be a new home, it could be stronger connections, it could be a new love, it could be better health, it could be a better job, it could be more money, it could be to be debt free. Whatever it is for you, I want you to get, first of all, get clear on it. What am I trying to achieve? And that energy starts now. And what's going to happen is going to build up. And some of you are going to find that that manifestation hits, actualizes, comes into play very quickly, like within weeks. Now, for other things, it takes longer. And so it gradually builds. All right. So let's look at these two cards then. The Palace of Cups is a place where you are in the flow, where emotionally you're feeling good, empowered, where you feel my heart is singing. This feels good to me. It feels aligned with me. Oh, that one's strong. All right. Let's stay with that for a minute then. This feels aligned. Right. I'm not the same person I was a year ago. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago. Is what I'm trying to manifest still aligned with the old me, or is it aligning into the new me and the future me? Right? So I want you to think about your future self and imagine yourself a year down the line. Where do you want to be? What does it look like? What is part of your value system that feels like that's not me anymore? I want to kind of come away from that. It might be that this relationship just isn't you anymore. It might be this habit, behavior just It's not me anymore. Why am I doing that? It doesn't feel right. I want to let it go. It may be that this job is no longer a good fit for you. I want you, first of all, to just recognize that, but not in a space of despair and panic, like, oh my God. I want you to just kind of go, okay, I'm clocking that. That was a good fit for who I was a year ago or 6 months ago. I don't really feel that that's a good fit for me going forward. So the palace of Cups is where the King and Queen of Cups live, protected by the Knight of Cups. And the Cups is about our emotions, feelings, fulfillment, being in the flow. All right. So, am I in the flow? Is this what I want? Is it aligning with the future me? Or is it very much part of my past? Now, the other card you've got with it is the Four of Wands. Now, I love this because this is the upgrades, improvements card. The Four of Wands is the 1111. I've done the work, I've put my foundations in, I've put my corner posts in, and now I can start to build on that. So what am I building? So the Four of Wands can be new homes, improving the home you have, a new relationship, improving the relationships you have, taking them to the next level. It's marriage, it's getting engaged, it's getting the promotion, it's getting the new home, it's getting that loan, it's getting debt free. It's always about an improvement that's going to make you feel good. So in terms of what are you manifesting, what are you trying to create in terms of the abundant life that you want? You want it to be feeling good, you want it to be an upgrade from where you were. And sometimes that's not about a better title or better money. It's about a complete shift into something that might be a worse title or a worse money. You know, let's remove the better and worse, and let's actually bring it into, does it align with me? Does it fit me and the me I want to be? Or does it fit the old narrative? Right? Because we grow. I'm not the person I was 10 years ago. I've grown and evolved, and so are you. All right, you've grown and evolved too. So what you're doing here in terms of this reading is the April abundance and clearing the blocks so that you can achieve during the next year the abundance that you want. So first of all, we're going to get into that flow. What is the flow? Where is it flowing? Where is it blocked? What are the upgrades and improvements that I'm ready to step into, even if I don't feel 100% ready right now? Is it, I'm ready. I am ready. All right. Now, I was saying this on my video the other day when I was talking about, the shifts for me in terms of, being a penguin author, completely different identity. Part of me saying, am I ready? Well, it wouldn't be happening if I wasn't ready. Why didn't it happen 5 years ago? Because I wasn't ready 5 years ago. It's happening now because I'm ready now. And that's why I want you to say to yourself, right? If you're starting to dream about this particular thing or that particular thing, why wasn't I aligned with it before? I wasn't ready. If I'm dreaming about it, it means I'm moving towards that now. I'm ready now. Okay. So this looks lovely. Now, let's have a look at these two. The King of Pentacles with the Ace of Cups. There is that Palace of Cups, right, with the wanting to bring in the flow, the happiness, the fulfillment. And just by the by, right, just notice here that we've got cups in the bottom row. All three are cups supporting what's going on here. The upgrades, the improvements, the money, the financial stability, the end of the struggle. Each of them supported by cups, by feelings, by emotions, by flow. All right. So we're wanting that flow. So let's look at these two then. That King of Coins, King of Pentacles, he's Mr. Moneybags. Security, stability, feeling very grounded, stable and secure, but also feeling happy. This is a new beginning, a new start. So we're stepping into this new abundant energy on the back of the April new moon in Aries, which we've had. And we're stepping into it saying, right, I'm ready for my new beginning. I'm ready for my prosperity, my abundance, and my security. And that's going to mean a brand new beginning. So I want to embrace that. I want to embrace that new beginning and say, yes, this is a fresh start. Whatever's gone on before, whatever's happened before, now we can come into walking away with the Eight of Cups from the struggle, from the effort, where life has been hard and heavy. Right, the Ten of Wands is the end of struggle. It's a 10, it's completion. That part of life that was hard and heavy, done, dusted, out the way. Now we're moving into creating a life that has more flow, that has more abundance, that has a new beginning. So am I ready? And this is going to sound a really bonkers question, but stay with me. Am I ready to walk away from the struggle? And you're all going to sit there and say, well, what a stupid question that is. Of course, I want to walk away from the struggle. Of course, I want to put the struggle behind me. Absolutely, 1000%. Yes, you're going to say that. But I want you to second question it. Am I really? Because one of the things that happens when we've been in struggle is that it creates a belief and an energy that says, God damn, life is hard. Oh, there's never enough. It's so difficult. Why is it so difficult? We're in that energy, and it's like they're showing me like sticking plasters with that all over you. All right, like band-aids of hard, heavy, difficult, challenging problems, lack, all over you. Right, that period of time that you've been through, we're obviously moving into the clearing. All right, how do we clear this? Because this is all just being channeled. What they're showing me, the sticking plasters, we call them plasters over here in the UK. And I think many of you call them Band-Aid. That's just the brand. But anyway, you get the drift, all right? So what I'm seeing is that we've been through a difficult time. It might be I've had no energy, I've been unwell, I've got no real solid connections, right? Whatever the issue has been that's made life hard and heavy, that it sticks to us, all right? And so I'm ready to walk away. But if I walk away without recognizing what's stuck to me, I'm going to be walking with those band-aids all over me into the next phase. And I don't want to do that. No, no, no. I want to get them off first. So I want you to imagine, visualize metaphorical band-aids all over you with different words on, different energies, different vibrations, hard, struggle, difficulty, lack, whatever it is, nightmare. And I want you to imagine ripping them all off and throwing them into a fire. And most of us don't have a real fire these days. Some of you are blessed enough to have one, but most of us don't. So I want you to just visualize a metaphorical fire. And if you've got a yard or garden with a fire pit, then you actually could go and just write them all down on pieces of paper and go and actually burn them in the fire pit. That would be an amazing clearance energy, because what you're doing is you're saying to the universe, however hard it's been, whatever struggle I've been through, I'm ready to step into a life that is more aligned, that is more flow, that is easier. Now I'm saying easier, not necessarily easy. We don't just shift overnight, or very rarely, from what's been difficult to, oh, it's lovely, it's easy, it's great, fabulous, it's perfect. There's usually a gentle transition from one to the other. So by stepping into life is becoming easier for me, then we're aligning with that flow to move into it. And words, I often tell you, and I said it in a video quite recently, the words that I use is my life gets easier and easier every day in every way. All right. Now, it don't have to be those exact words, but it's the sentiment, it's the energy, it's the intention. So you're moving into away from the struggle and into the abundance. Let's just talk about abundance and what it is and what it means, because many people automatically assume that abundance is loads of money. I'm going to win the lottery. Great, happy days, congratulations if that's you. In a wider context, right? An abundance is just a lot of something flowing. Now, that can be love, energy, health, well-being, fitness, happiness, fulfillment. It's so much more than just money. And one of the greatest values that most of us want is security, an abundance of security. I want to feel safe. I want to feel secure, and an abundance of stability. I don't want to feel like a leaf blowing around in the wind. I want to feel that my life is stable. Another value that we all want more of is freedom. Freedom to choose, freedom to stay in this relationship or leave it, freedom to stay in this job or find a better one, or retire, or travel, or freedom, freedom. We love freedom. All right, talk about this a lot in my book, From Hoping to Having, in all of them. And it is about that energy, freedom, stability, security. When we align with an abundance in those areas, life will start to bring the elements together to create that. Now, I don't just want freedom, I want it with stability, with security. I can have freedom from my job, no other job, and now I can't pay my mortgage and I'm homeless and I'm not secure and I'm not stable and I'm frightened. I've got the freedom, but without the security. We want both, don't we? All right. So what is it for you? We've got different definitions of what is security. Yeah. One man's castle is another man's albatross around his neck. All right, this are the words they're giving me. I'm just telling you what they're saying. We have different ideas of what is secure. Predominantly, the most important thing is health, because without that, we're not here. So let's sort that. So how can I get more secure, more stable, more abundant? All right. So because the universe works on whatever you're focusing on, it brings you more of. When we're focusing on it's been so hard, the universe says, yeah, we hear you. Okay, you want more hard. Here you go. Right. Now, it's not doing it to punish you. It's not doing it to tell you off. The universe doesn't judge. And it is purely an energy attracting like energy. So what we've got here is, first of all, acknowledge it's been hard. The work that I have put into this channel over the last 8 years that I've been going has been immense. But it's worth it, and I don't regret it, and I love what I do, and I'm very blessed. But it'd be nice if it got a little bit easier. Yeah. The work I've put in over the last year into my book and writing the new book and launching that and getting a deal, a lot of work, worth it. All right. But if we're staying in this energy of, gosh, it's been a lot of work, we're going to keep attracting a lot of work. Now we want to move into, right, the heavy work is done, the hard work is done, and now it starts to get easier, lighter, flowing, as if it's a river and I'm just in a little boat floating along the river and I haven't got to paddle like mad. Let's get out of the paddling energy and get into the flow energy. Okay, let's find out some more. I'm going to bring the camera down. Let's find out what are the blocks to this. Oh, different deck, they're saying. Okay, I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot. Tell me about the blocks then that the collective have to the abundance. So they've given us a bit of information around that. Yeah, we want to walk away from the 10 of Cups, put it behind us, moving towards the unknown, because we've got the moon here. Tell me a little bit more about what are the main blocks that people have, and then we can clear them. Okay, the Hierophant, the Knight of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups. Yes, no, yes. Okay, that it's hard work. We can't get to the sun. It's a bit of effort. And the King of Cups. Anything else? Yeah, they want one in there. What do you want in there? And then we'll talk about them, okay? 5 of Swords, conflict. Okay, let's discuss. Ready? Okay, come closer. What are the blocks? Right, so we've got the Hierophant. And the Hierophant, it's a number 5. Right, let's start there because we've also got the 5 of Swords, right? So let's come to him in a little bit later. Let's talk about the Hierophant first of all. There he is, sitting there, big grin on his face, all right, with his staircase behind him. Now, let's just look at why this might be a block. So the Hierophant is about things that are traditional, they're stable, they're secure. I've signed contracts, I'm stuck in this promise that I've made. Marriage, job contracts, mortgage contracts, stability. Because the Hierophant is a positive card. We love the Hierophant, right? But we are particularly looking at what are the blocks to stop me, that stops me moving into my abundance, right? So this will be that lack of freedom that we were discussing earlier. That sense of, well, I'd love to change my job, but I'm in a 2-year contract. There's nothing I can do about it. I'd love to move home, but I'm in a 5-year mortgage contract and I can't do anything about it. It's when we say to ourselves, I can't, right? That's a block, because any contract can be got out of. Any contract can be got out of. If you're, another block with this is that, well, it's very stable. I might hate it, I might be bored to death, I might be unhappy, but it's stable and I don't want to risk instability in case. So this is one of the blocks. So I want you to ask yourself, what are the long-term traditional kind of, this is the way I have to do it, kind of thinking that comes into your head that says, I can't make those changes, because we want to be able to get rid of those, because you can. Right, now another block is the Knight of Pentacles. Slow, steady, takes forever. Oh, I can't be bothered. I want it now. It's normal human stuff, this, all right? So this is another block to our abundance, is that it's that slow and steady long-term progress. If I put the work in now, is delayed gratification. I may not see any particular results for months. And, I'm looking for instant gratification. Now, all of us are a bit like that. I certainly am. And many of us are. So it's saying this is another block. We're looking at the blocks. What are the blocks to the abundance? Is it because it's going to take too long? And if it is, let's shift it. Let's get rid of that and say things that are worth having are worth working towards, because I'm gradually moving into that new version of myself, from the shallow end, getting deeper and deeper and deeper so I don't drown, and I'm learning to swim rather than dive in the deep end when I don't know what I'm doing, and then I might sink. So actually the Knight of Pentacles has some wonderful qualities here about gradually move towards it, right? So don't see it as a block, see it as, this helps me to adjust and adapt to the new version of me that I'm moving towards. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. Now, the other thing that's a block, interestingly, is the Nine of Cups. So let's look at this. The Nine of Cups is the wish fulfilled card. It's like, yes, this is something I really, really wanted. Great. They're asking you here, when we're examining it as a block, is to have a look. Do your dreams and goals align with the future version of you? Or are they based on an old version of you? Are they based on what you thought was achievable at the time? And perhaps you've been playing that small and playing it down. So we're saying, let's have an example. I would love to move house, but yes, the dream is a little tiny cottage in so-and-so location. That's the dream. That was the goal, right? Is it time to make that grow a little bit bigger? Then instead of a tiny cottage here, that actually it's a bigger cottage there. I want you to look at your goals, Nine of Cups, your dreams, your wishes, and ask yourself, are they aligned with the old version of me or the new version of me? And then I want you to tweak them until they feel, yeah, this is what I envisage for the next year, and that's what I'm moving towards. Okay. Now we've got the Five of Swords, which is the card of inner conflict. the mind chatter, the overthinking. You know, you're talking to a Virgo here with double Mercury, overthinking plus ADHD, overthinking, right? We do it. We go down the rabbit hole and we can't get ourselves back out. And there's all that going on in our head. So again, this is a block. Are we overthinking it rather than just feel it and allow it, right? So have a look at that one as well. And now we've got the Eight of Pentacles, the worker card, the block. This is a block, right? So yes, we need to work towards our goals. Yes, we need to take action and put the work in. Sometimes it appears all by itself, but generally we work towards a goal. So how is it a block? Well, are you overworking? Are you putting too much in? Are you burning yourself out? Are you working needlessly because of overthinking? Right? So instead of doing it once, you're doing it 10 times because your mind is saying, Mr. Bit, Mr. Bit, that kind of stuff. That can be a block as well. Okay. So then we're coming into these last two blocks. Now, the Sun, of course, is the brightest, most positive card in the deck. How would this be a block? All right, so I'm just asking, why is the Sun a block with the King of Cups? So there's the flow. There's me and my Zen. There's me completely in the flow. How is this a block? All right, okay. So we can have toxic positivity. It's going to be all right. I don't need to put any work in. The universe is going to bring it to me. I'll just sit here and wait for myself to win the lottery, and then I can have everything I want. This is being overly positive. Okay. So I want you to look at I am not one to lower dreams and expectations, right? But these are, excuse me, the energies that can get in the way. I read all your comments, and no matter how many there are, I read them all. I can't always reply to them all, but I read them all. And there's always comments about abundance saying, yep, I'm going to get an extra lottery ticket. I'm going to win the lottery. And it's, you know, it's highly unlikely. So sometimes we give our power away to the universe saying they'll fix it for me. But the universe doesn't work like that. It says we'll work with you. We will match your vibration. And if your vibration is being so utterly positive that everything good's going to come through without a single doubt in your head, then it possibly can. All right. But generally, we can. I just want to manage expectations here. All right. Now, let's just be real about this. When my agent said to me, when I finally got an agent, that took me 12 years, patience. When he said to me, and when I said I want Penguin, and his reply was, probably not, I didn't allow that to go in my head. I didn't allow it. I held the dream, I held the vision, and I got it, right? So sometimes what somebody else says is unrealistic is very realistic for you. But there are times, like with the lottery and things like that, that, you know, I'm going to get a job. Have you applied? No. I'm just waiting for it to come to me. All right. We can be so overly positive that we're blocking our own abundance. So I want you to look at that. And then just finally with the King of Cups, he's lovely. He's all about Zen and trust, and I'm in the flow and I'm just going to meditate. But sometimes we need to notice the waves. He doesn't notice the waves choppy behind him. He's just in the zone. And sometimes we actually do need to look behind us and look at the waves so that we can navigate them, so we can manage them, so that we can bring in some tools and resilience and plans and strategy. And they're all part of it as well. So it's a combination here of bringing this together that we can say, right, these are the potential blocks to my abundance. How are we overcoming them? So we're going to, with the Hierophant, say anything that's long-term, secure, that I feel I can't change because of that, I absolutely can. I have freedom. Knight of Pentacles, anything that's slow and steady to get me where I want to be is worth it, and I trust that pace. Nine of Cups, I'm going to review my goals and make sure they fit who I am now. I'm not going to overthink it too much and get stuck down the rabbit hole and analysis paralysis. I'm going to do the work without burning myself out and driving myself into the ground. I'm going to be positive with the sun without completely being unrealistically so. And I'm going to notice when things are getting a bit choppy or wavy so that I can navigate and circumnavigate those kind of challenges, right? So those are what needs to be cleared, the final blocks that need to be cleared so that we can fully step into the abundance. So let's look now, last few messages about the outcome of the abundance for the collective. Okay, I don't want all of those, thank you. So we've got the Five of Wands, the sense of competition. Let go of that one. Okay, there is more than enough for everybody. There's more than enough to go around. Bottom of the deck, we've got Strength with the Fool. Oh, and we've got the High Priestess and the Chariot they want me to take. So we are moving into using your strength. We've got 4 major arcana cards coming out. This is powerful times, my beautiful people. Okay, you're going to use your strength, your resilience to step into that new beginning. That Fool is the leap of faith. You've got to have that faith. You've got to take that trust. You've got to bring it forward and say, yes, I'm moving forward. I've got the High Priestess and the Chariot. I'm listening to my heart. I'm listening to my intuition. I'm ready for this to move forward. And I'm ready to just allow this now to really move forward into my best life. Very powerful stuff. Let's finish off with an angel card for you. Final message for the collective of the April abundance, clearing those final blocks to your breakthrough. Okay. And we have fulfillment. Remember why you're doing this. Remember what this alignment is about. To open those enormous doors to the fulfillment that you can absolutely have, that you can step into, fulfilling your goals, your wishes, your dreams, the lightness, the brightness, the height here on. Right, they're just showing me there's so many of you are living with a low ceiling, feeling squashed, feeling restricted. Let's open up the ceiling for it to be as high as we can go, to allow us to expand and stretch and grow in a way that is truly aligned with our hearts. All right, my beautiful people, that is what I have for this beautiful collective reading about stepping into that abundance, clearing the final blocks, going for it, set the scene. You've got this. I'll be back soon now with some more readings for individual signs, and I'm going to do them by elements, earth, air, fire, and water. And I will see you again soon. Keep an eye out for those. If you haven't subscribed yet, go and do that. It's completely free. You only need an email address, for YouTube. You have to have an email. You have to have an account, and all you need for an account is an email address. And they don't bombard you. You'll never hear from them again. It's completely safe. Go and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Lots of love. Bye bye.